Happy Frugal Friday, everyone, and welcome to your weekly dose of frugal inspiration. The question today is, what are Americans spending too much on these days? So I went to ChatGPT and I was just trying to get the tea, like what's going on here? What are we spending too much on? Let's just talk about it. Let's go through some of the main points and let's see, are we spending too much on that? What could we do better? Let's get into it. Number one is eating out in convenience foods. Yeah. Restaurants are one of the top 3 spending categories. And it's not just restaurants. It's DoorDash, it's Starbucks runs, it's I'm too tired to cook nights. This is a huge silent budget killer because it feels small in the moment. Oh yeah, listen. I don't try to act perfect on here. You guys, I can't be like, oh, I never. Listen, the truth is, I'll tell you what, there's nothing I would love more on a Friday night after I have worked all week, my multiple jobs, after I've worked, you know what I mean? The full 40 hours of my regular job, maybe some choreography things. My video is out on a Friday, right? Friday, I feel like, okay, I've done the work. When I get home, I want to grab my phone, type in what I want, order it, get in the shower, wash the week off, get in cozy pajamas, and by the time I'm out of the shower, the food has arrived at my door. Sit down, watch a juicy television series. I can't tell you I don't want to do that more often than I do. I do. I don't because it is expensive, but I mean, it sounds good. It sounds great. And I know there are some tired people out there, especially all the time. I was going to say, especially on the weekend. But, a lot of us are working a lot and it's exhausting and it's tempting, right? Is that something you guys are having at the top of your budget killer list, or are you getting groceries? This week, I actually tried Trader Joe's for the first time. So I did want to share a little bit of that with you. I'm going to show you what I got. Now this, just so you know, this is not a full grocery trip. I didn't get cat food. I didn't get like eggs, like some other stuff that I would normally get. But I already have a bunch of vegetables in the house. These were kind of like gap fillers, but also I wanted to try a new spot. And do you guys have a Trader Joe's near you? Let me know in the comments if you've had good experiences there. I loved it. The people were so nice. The store was interesting. I'll show you what I got, and then we'll move on to number 2.
I think I made that one. Okay, these are $8.99. Those are $5.99.
Today we went to Trader Joe's for the first time, and it was just an adventure for us, you guys. I don't get out much. So we got some milk, some sausage, some sirloin roast. I know some would be like, oh, why are you getting it out of a package? Listen, it just looked really good. It comes already cut and everything, and I just want to try it. I'm kind of weird about meats and I'm kind of insecure when I'm cooking them. So this is just, you put it in the oven, it's already prepared. I'm going to give it a whirl. We've got some ground turkey. We've got some carrots, strawberries, avocado, raspberries, sliced organic apples, kiwis, sushi. Kaden loves sushi. I don't know if I already said watermelon, bananas, got some honey. I don't use honey that often, but I've run out. The classic everything but the bagel sesame seasons blend. This I've had before. It's so good. You can put it on like avocado toast or, really anything. It's really good. They were doing samples of these and Kaden really loved it. So we're going to have these this week for some breakfast or snack, lemon poppy seed muffins. Now, I said Kaden could get 3 things. We wanted to try these freeze-dried strawberries. He loves that kind of freeze-dried stuff. We ripped open this in the car. It was me, my mom, and Kaden. We all tried one. These are great. Oh my gosh, they're so good. This is like a cookie thing that Kaden wanted to try. So those were his 3 options. And then we got these for free because it was our first trip to Trader Joe's. So they gave us a free bag and free chocolate. So we were thrilled. And we're running out of bread. So here's some sourdough to try. It just looked really good. So is this like a normal grocery haul for me? Not really, because normally I get like eggs and some other things. But this was a trip that was like an adventure for us because we'd never been there before. And it was really fun. They have really great stuff. And the total was, woo, $88.13 for this trip. It was really fun for us going somewhere different because we have our local grocery store that we always go to. So this one was a little further out of the way and, you know, just like an adventure. We found some stuff that we wouldn't normally get. So we're going to give it a try, see how it goes. That's good, you guys. That's worth not having to literally do anything. Just put it in the oven. It's good. Number 2, travel and experiences. Travel is actually the number 1 spending category increase. That's so interesting to me. People are prioritizing memories over stuff. 58% prefer experiences. Now that's actually, I think, like slightly music to my ears because, you know, stuff just piles up in your house. So an experience is really great. But it says translation. People will say, I can't save money while booking a $1,200 trip. You know, flights are expensive. My girls and I, my sorority sisters, shout out to Kappa Delta if you're a KD, we were trying to get everybody together to do a trip, and trying to decide on a place with 8 women, first of all, was really hard. We still don't have it in the books. And then finding a place where, because we're all over, so it was finding a spot where it made sense, where like one person wasn't overspending, and you know, it's a hard thing to coordinate. Maybe you're not coordinating 8 people, but flights are expensive, and just travel's expensive. The food while you're gone, where you're going, where you're staying. It's quite an endeavor. Totally worth it at times, but I can see how that could be something that could really add up quick. Let me know. Is that at the top of your priority list, travel and experiences? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Number 3, random shopping. They wrote in parentheses, Amazon, Target, etc. General merchandise is one of the top spending categories. This includes Amazon impulse buys, Target runs, just browsing, shopping. This is where death by $1,025 purchases happens, right? You start shopping in those little carts in Amazon and it starts adding up. We've talked about this a lot on the channel. I definitely think having a waiting period when you are doing online purchases is a very smart idea. Just don't get carried away with it in the moment, because those impulse buys can add up, and then you get it and you're like, man, I kind of overdid it. I think taking that waiting period, 24 hours, 48 hours, really helps. And then, you know, this is a classic tip, but especially in today's economy, go in with what you need and come out with just what you need. Write a little list, and when you've completed the list, be done, because you can just keep going. You can just keep going. I've done it. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but if you're trying to tighten it up, go in with a list and that's all you're getting. Get a little strict up in here, you know? Tighten up your strictness just for a little bit if you're trying to work on that. Number 4, beauty, self-care, and little treats, they put in parentheses. Personal care spending is rising. There's a real trend called the lipstick effect. People buy small luxuries when they're stressed. Yeah, I get that. Nails, lashes, hair, skincare. I deserve this purchases. They keep putting that in parentheses. Individually small, but collectively expensive. I was talking to some friends and like they were sharing some of the appointments that they do monthly. And I was just like, wow, like that. And I would just, as I'm listening to it, and I'm not shaming anyone that has these appointments, but I'm just like, wow, the dollar signs are just like, whew, nails, hair, eyebrows, waxes. Some people are getting Botox. There's just like, there's a lot of things that people get regular maintenance with, and that can be really costly, but not even just those like clearly more expensive appointments, just going in, then you're like, oh, I need a new lipstick. Oh, well, I'm here. I probably should get a mascara. Well, look, I probably should get this eyeshadow. And look, did you see this bronzer? You know how it can kind of like, it can snowball, right? So again, we're just talking about, this is what people are spending money on. This is what we're doing, all right? Number 5, subscriptions and monthly payments. And I love this. They said these feel harmless because they're only $9.99, but when you have 12 of them, you know, it's like people that say like, well, I'm not going to pay for cable, but then they have every single streaming service. I'm like, girl, you just racked it right back up to what you'd be paying for cable. So you got to kind of look out for that. They're talking about streaming services, apps, gym memberships, monthly boxes. And a lot of these times we might not even like track it well. Sometimes we just don't think it's significant because it's just such a small $5.99, $7.99, $9.99, but they really do add up. So one thing, when you're doing like the streaming services, if you love a certain show, you can be streaming that for a little while. And then when you're done with that one, switch over to another one, use that to the fullest extent if you can. Just be mindful of it. Some people, if that's like your thing, like that's what you do, you love watching shows, and you're like, well, I'm not going to go out to eat instead. I really want to watch my show. You know what I mean? Like balance it out. Do you, boo, as I always say, but spend where it matters to you the most. Number 6, pets. And they wrote, yes, seriously. And I'm like, this is not surprising to me at all, but pet spending is one of the fastest growing categories. Includes premium food, grooming, toys, subscriptions, vet plans. Pets are basically a lifestyle category now. I was trying to add it up of what it costs for me. I have 3 cats, Slate, Lasasa, and Kiki. And I was thinking it's about like when I add it up with my wet food, my dry food, and the cat litter, those are my monthly expenses. I think it's about $100 a month that I spend on the cats alone. It's not, I feel like $100 a month, one of the best investments I can have. They bring us so much joy. Oh my gosh, I love my cats. We love our cats. So, you know, pets, it's a category. It's a commitment, man. It's definitely a commitment. And then obviously when vet bills come up, vet appointments, you know, those can be brutal. So, you know, if you're thinking about a pet, it's totally worth it, but you got to just be prepared because it is also an investment financially. Number 7, electronics and upgrades. Electronics jumped 25% year over year. Think new phones before you need one, smart home gadgets, upgrading perfectly fine tech. I've got like a video doorbell. I've got my cell phone. I upgrade usually several years in between. Like I don't get one every year at all. What about you guys? Do you jump at the new phones when they come out? What other things do you have? I mean, my iPhone does everything but make me dinner. You know what I mean? Thank goodness for this thing. I find it very valuable, but I don't upgrade it every chance I get because it's expensive, right? And I use things as much as I possibly can. All right, number 8. Now, this is big in general. And if this is you, take a second to think about it. Emotional impulse spending. Chat says this is a big underlying problem. 28% of Americans regret impulse purchases. Many say they spend based on stress, boredom, or social pressure. This is the root of almost all overspending. So this is one of those things where if this is a problem, and I've had many of you write me comments, like somebody just shared with me, and she was like, don't judge, but for whatever reason, she kind of started accumulating this perfume collection, and she didn't even like some of them, but for whatever reason, it was becoming like a thing. She wanted to collect all the perfumes, and they were very pricey, and in the end, like some of them were like making her nauseous, right? But for whatever reason, she was getting accustomed to her collection. And I think a lot of people have collections. Are you a collector? If you are, let me know in the comments. And it's not just necessarily collections, it's just more. And we think that it's gonna cure the stress. We think it's gonna cure the boredom. We think it's gonna cure that feeling of social pressure. But if you've been around here long enough, you know, most of the time it doesn't. There are times where purchasing things is going to be helpful, especially when it's useful. But if you are doing it out of a coping mechanism, that's something maybe even to like look into your mental health for. Take care of your mental health. A lot of us don't take care of our mental health. We're used to taking care of everybody else, and we're not doing that part. Make it a priority. Check with your insurance. Like what can you have covered? You know, make that time. Find ways to take good care of yourself, because when your mind is healthy, you make better choices. And it's obviously sometimes not as easy as an appointment or two. It might take a little bit of time, but you're worth it. Number 9, housing. Not always overspending, but overstretching. It says housing can take 25 to 60% of your income. Not always a choice, but some people upgrade too fast. They overbuy space. They normalize being house poor. Being house poor is no fun, I would imagine. I was very mindful, and if you guys are in the process of buying a new house, perhaps check out my playlist when I bought my new house, my only house, my first house, my only house. Spending so much on a house that you can't afford and then having no money to do anything else is a position you don't want to be in. Just don't do it. Look at that. Do a faux budget before you buy the house. Like say you're renting right now and you have your expenses one way. You do a faux budget, which is like a fake budget of your future expenses of what your new normal would be. I can't drive this point home enough. This was so helpful for me. I did a whole video on it. Type in Kaden faux budget or look at that playlist. It helped me so much because I knew now this was going to be more expensive. Maintenance in the house, there's a lot more expenses when you are the only person. Nobody's out there mowing your lawn for you. Nobody's taking care of anything if something goes out in the house. You are in charge of everything, right? So you got to really account for that. And, you know, if you're going from a small apartment to like a slightly bigger house, maybe the heating is going to cost more, the air conditioning is going to cost more. There's lots of things to consider. So if you do a faux budget, your fake budget of what your new normal will be, and then you see what you can afford and what you cannot with having some wiggle room. You just don't want to push yourself into that position where you're house poor. Don't do it. Listen to all my videos. They'll help you with that. But I do not regret buying this house. I love it so much. But again, you got to prepare. Now it says the bigger picture, 26% of Americans are spending more than they earn. That's why we talk about living below your means often on this channel. Biggest regret of these folks is not saving money. Hey, that's why we're here on this channel. We're talking about how to do it, right? I've got tons of videos. Just sift through. We can attack those savings goals, right? So it's not just inflation, it's lifestyle creep, it's convenience culture, and it's emotional spending. It says Americans are not overspending on one big thing. They're overspending on the 3 C's, and that is convenience, comfort, and coping. And that makes so much sense to me. Paying for convenience, paying for comfort or what you think will comfort you, and then paying for coping with what the real problem is. Again, like we were talking about before, make sure your mental health is healthy, and that will help with everything. But convenience, comfort, and coping. Are you spending out of convenience, comfort, or coping? Are those at the top of your list or of why you might be overspending? Just think about it. And again, this isn't to be confrontational in a way. It's to be reflective. Don't neglect to reflect. This is how we learn and this is how we get better. So guys, let me know your thoughts on these. Out of the ones that I mentioned, are any of these the things that you're overspending on? And which one are you working on the most going forward that you want to reduce your spending on? Guys, I hope this was an interesting discussion. I hope it's helpful. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet and you want to talk about frugal living, budgeting, saving money, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that like button so it can get to other people that like talking about this also. If you're like, hey, I want to talk about this more, awesome. I'm going to leave a video for you to watch here next that you can enjoy. I hope you have an amazing weekend and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.